Alrighty, what's up, guys? We're here with a video for Valorant. Due to the stuff in the FGC, I probably won't be making FGC content anytime soon. And if that upsets you or you're disappointed, I'm sorry. Because honestly, the only thing you could talk about is these twitlongers and everything else that's happening, of course, if you're paying attention. And that's not really good content. So I wouldn't feel comfortable talking about that stuff. And also, I would just probably lose my mind talking about that shit every day because it just seems to happen every day. So I'm gonna be making Valorant content from here on out. You're free to unsubscribe if you want to, but if you do like the game, and I will try to keep up with some FGC stuff if some good news happens or some news for certain games coming out. So FGC content isn't completely gone, but for the majority of the time, I'm probably gonna be making more Valorant stuff and maybe some other games. But yeah, today we're gonna have a tier list. So if you're new to the channel, maybe, possibly, this tier list is for people from iron to around plat. Because I've kind of grinded. I've never been iron or bronze, but this is more for low level to mid level tier list for people who want to carry, for people who either solo queue or maybe duo queue. Not the greatest coordination, right? This isn't a pro level tier list. I never played with pros. I played with people of pretty much all ranks. I played with Immortals at one point, but obviously I'm not a pro, and I'm not going to discuss a pro level tier list. This is more for people lower competitive tiers and mid competitive tiers like up to plat, maybe diamond, if you're solo queuing. But yeah, let's get started. So, first on the list, that's pretty high in my opinion, and also the best character in the game if you are a pro and lower level or mid level is Sage. Sage is very good. She has nice carry potential. So the thing for Sage is she's able to play with the team and for herself in both scenarios. She has the wall, of course. So defensively, she is allowed to put up a wall and she can rotate to help out her teammates in other areas. Let's say specifically Haven, B site, you wall the front, you can play with Garage if you hear them pushing Garage or see Long, and you have someone else rotate to make sure the wall hasn't been broken down. Stuff like that. Just one example, but it's very good for her to help out her team. And obviously, her heal is a big deal because she can heal herself and she can heal her teammates. So if you're the one fragging out with Sage, you can obviously win a fight and heal yourself to full. Essentially, obviously no armor. If you never played Sage, she only heals herself to 100, not 150. So it's very good. She's very, very, very good character, both pro level play, low level play, mid level play. She's got it all, right? She can play for herself. She can play with the team. She's a very, very, very good carry character. All right. Next up on the list, very good carry. This is more. This is so. I'm gonna put Reyna, of course. Reyna's very good, but she's not as good as Sage because you could be low mid-level players like plat, but you may not be able to pull this off against people who are plat or possibly diamond in a more team-oriented, like a stack, like a 4 stack, 5 stack. People are a little bit better at dealing with Reyna, obviously as a team compared to individuals. But as someone who plays in plat and sometimes fight diamond people, it's still very difficult to deal with her. A lot of people, even in that elo, are not very good at dealing with her. So she is definitely quite the carry character. One of the best flashes in the game, if not the best. Some people debate Omen's might be the best, but yeah, Lear is very good flash. Obviously, she has the suck, 150 HP, temporary of course, and her ult, which is one of the best carry ults in the game. Especially if you're able to pick people off one by one, which happens a lot still. Even though this character isn't as new as she was in the beginning, people tend to get picked off one by one by her ult, which is very, very hard to fight with her 1v1 unless you get the jump on her. So people still have a problem dealing with it, and it definitely is pretty bad. And you throw rounds just because someone pops ult and people are stupid enough to chase her. So yeah, she's very good. She's still a very good character. Definitely quite the powerhouse. All right, next up on the list, I have. Ooh, this is a tough one. I honestly want to put Sova S as well. This is probably my 3 S tiers for solo play or mid level, low level. Sova is the better of the two intel characters, right? Cypher being the better one. Of course, in pro play, you would see something like this. Obviously, not Reyna. This poor Reyna here. You would see something like this instead, but uh, instead it'd be something like this. Sova is a much easier time to carry, um, just because he's a little more. His tool set's a little better in terms of like fight potential. Obviously, his ult's very good. If you pick someone with the drone or with the sonar dart, you get pretty much a free kill, which is huge. Getting a free kill, not putting yourself in any bad situation, is a big deal. Shock dart's pretty good. Does a lot of damage. It's very cheap in money. So, unlike some other characters, he only maxes out to 500 for his abilities. The drone, or the drone being 300, and each shock dart being 100. So you save some extra credits down the line for guns and armor and stuff like that. And it just his tool set is just a lot more better. It's a lot more. It's a lot harder to deal with, especially compared to Cypher. Cypher has trips, but obviously trips aren't very good in a gunfight. It's more to help out your team and help out yourself in a way, which is pretty good. Cypher is not bad in low level, mid level. I'll get to him eventually, but Sova with obviously a better ultimate for kill potential, shock darts, arrows that are much harder to deal with in a camera. You don't have to obviously shoot the camera, enter it, pick someone out. With a sonar dart, you can obviously shoot it, see someone, you get the wall bang, someone else can shoot for you, or you know where the last guy is, so your teammate can or your teammates can coordinate with you, so you actually can hold a site or hold a bomb if they lose a bomb or whatever other situation that's pretty good for it. So yeah, Sova's very good. I put Sova as, especially he's definitely the best intel character out of the two for solo queue, low level, mid level. All right, next up, a very good pick. He honestly could be S2, Omen. I'm gonna put him A. Only for the fact that he definitely has some weird quirks about him. Sometimes he's a genius. Sometimes he's very stupid to play. Omen is kind of I wouldn't say a high risk character, but sometimes you just get unlucky and the big plays you think that are going to be huge and going to win the round could also cost you the round. Those two being, of course, his normal teleport and his ultimate. He also has one of the best flashes in the game, and he has smokes that are the biggest in the game. Not as good as Brim in my opinion, and I think also pro level agrees too. Brim smokes are still better. It covers, or doesn't cover more, but it obscures more of the vision. Obviously, when you walk, it is not hollow, and he can pull all three at once, so he can initiate a bomb site very easily, which is a lot better compared to Omen's, where he has to put them out individually. Even though he can shoot them very far away, compared to Brim, a lot farther. It doesn't help the team as much as a Brim, but he has the potential to do more as a fragger and as a lurker because he has stuff like teleport and he has ultimate. So it's in a tricky spot. The thing is, like, he kind of has to play both roles. He has to help your team, because you're going to be the smoke guy most likely. If you're playing Omen, you're probably not going to have a Brim, so you're going to have to be the guy who gives out the smokes, coordinates the attacks, and also be the lurker slash fragger in a way. So he has a lot more roles to deal with compared to someone like the top three. But he's still a very good character, solo queue. It's just sometimes you could look pretty stupid if you don't get the sick, nasty play with teleport and stuff like that, or flashes. But yeah, still very good. All right, next up, we got Rays. Actually, I probably put like this. I probably put Rays in front. Rays does stuff that no other character can. Rays is the only character that can get multiple kills with their abilities, because their abilities are very good. Obviously, Nade, Boombot's very good. The satchels are very strong. Our ultimate pretty much guarantees you a kill as long as you not losing to an op or you just guess wrong. Let's say you try to throw out the ult, you don't know where they are. Most of the time, you're gonna get at least one kill with it. People can back you up pretty well. Yeah, her tool set is very good. It's very good to carry. She's gonna frag out a lot. She's probably gonna be most of the time. If it's not Reyna, usually Raze is your top fragger in the middle of the pack queue. It's that elo is very good for her, and also pro level play. Pro level play, Reyna gets picked a lot. I just saw Pico's tier list too. He thinks Raze is very good for pro level play as well, and I definitely agree with him. I think Raze just does something that no other character can. She's able to clear out spots very well because she has the explosive utility. You know, there isn't anyone in the game that has explosive utility like that. Of course, people have mollies, but it doesn't flesh out a corner. Let's say like you're playing on binds and they do the default plan with the sage wall. You can throw a nade, stop the plant, possibly kill someone behind the boxes. You can clear a U-Haul with it. You can throw the boom bot over the tank. You can do a lot of stuff to help clear out the area without even getting engaged in a gunfight with anybody. It's very strong. She's quite a strong character for mid level elo. All right, next up, we got Brim. Brim's very strong. Kind of fits the same way as Omen, except with less potential. He's going to be more of the coordinator because his smokes are very good. Stim pack is not very great. It's good for clearing out walls, stuff like that, doors, double doors in garage, stuff like that. But he's mostly used for some pretty big plays, especially on bombs. All right, his ultimate, the nuke. If you plant and he's able to stay alive, he can definitely delay the defuse for quite a long time. And he can also flesh out areas, specifically like U-Haul on binds or garage and haven, stuff like that. It's very good. It's very good to flesh out to help your teammates take care of a bomb site or stop a defuse, which is very strong. His Molly, too. His Molly kind of does that in a similar fashion. And he's just a better coordinator. He really helps the team pretty well. He's not going to really be someone that is going to frag out usually, but he's quite the character to get your teammates in order. Not having a smokes, Omen and Brim kind of end up being aided by default, just because they're the ones with the best smokes, the ones that can put out smokes without being in harm's way. So they're kind of a must pick on a team, at least one of them. Some or Omen and Brim kind of do good on different maps. Ascent is very good for Omen, and Bind is very good for Brim. Depends on the map. But yeah, they're both very good. They kind of play a similar role. Just Omen has higher potential to frag out and do more for the team in terms of getting kills, stuff like that. While Brim's just more like a really, really, really good support role for the team. All right, next up we got Jet. Jet's a B tier. Jet's good in a way. If you have a really good Jet, it is very scary. But she's not as good as the other duelists, I think, in terms of potential in a carry. You kind of have to be good with Jet. You have to be a good player to be able to play Jet and be able to carry in a queue. Compared to someone like Raze or Reyna or even Sage to a degree, you don't have to be as strong as a player to be able to frag out and do well because their abilities don't really get involved in gunfights unless you really need to. Or you have a much better chance in a gunfight, like Reyna ults, obviously. Or Raze ult. Where Jets is more skillful. It's more skill oriented. Of course, you get some crazy plays with her. But like I said, you have to kind of be good with her to make it work. And it definitely puts her much weaker compared to the other duelists. Same thing here with your boy Phoenix. Phoenix, I'd probably put Phoenix first though, over Jet, honestly. Give me a Jet. Phoenix, ult's very good, of course. Flashes are tough. Flashes are very tough in general. Besides like Omen and Reyna, you have to have some level of coordination with your teammates because if you're not careful, Phoenix or Breach also coming up soon can flash your teammates a lot. So yeah, you have to have some level of coordination, which may not be the case if you're solo queuing or if you're playing in like bronze level, iron level. It can be pretty tough to coordinate. So you kind of have to use it for yourself, which isn't the best way to play him. Honestly, he's a pretty good team player, but since we're talking low level or possibly solo queues, you're kind of will have to play for yourself, which you can. It's not too bad. It's also better than Jet, in my opinion. But he doesn't have that factor of being able to easily play well with his team compared to the other agents, like a Brim, like a Sage, like a Sova. He's kind of like an all-in, pretty good card to play for yourself and try to get frags. He's also a character that I consistently see as a top fragger in my queues as a flat player, sometimes fighting diamonds. That's kind of where he lands for me, in my opinion. Last up, 4B tier, we have Cypher. I probably put Cypher ahead of Jet though. Cypher pulls out a lot because he is good at delaying bomb plants or at delaying rush to sites, and people are over rotating. He's good, obviously, for trips. Trips are very amazing. His camera's very, very good. A lot of good intel. If you're gonna play Cypher, and I do play Cypher a lot, right? He's my main. But most of the time I do play in 5 stacks, so it's not too bad. But if I were to play in solo queue with Cypher, I'm usually trying to lurk because if I get intel on a site that people have either rotated off of or there's one guy there that I feel pretty confident in getting the pick on somebody, I can create space for my team, which is pretty good. But of course, like I mentioned, in lower level ranks and in solo queue, it can be hard to get coordinated. So like I say you get a pick on C, right? You're like, I got C. And then your teammates are scrambled around B or A and they don't have time to rotate, they're already planting. So you kind of do your work for nothing. So you kind of have to get your team in order of what you're gonna do before you kind of play it out, which is much harder compared to solo, where solo can just be a lot more flexible with his approach. And Cypher, he has to be a little more tricky on what he's gonna do, but he has very good potential. Obviously, he's a very, very good character, right? In terms of, we're talking like competitive play, scrims, he's S tier, right? He's like second best character in the game. But for competitive, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough for him. I'm leaning more towards Sova playing sometimes if I play by myself compared to something like Cypher. But Cypher's still pretty good. I could vouch for him for A tier, but sometimes it's pretty rough playing him, in my opinion. All right, and to get this over with, I'll just put these not there. I'll put these two here. These two. Breach, Viper. Breach, Viper is tough. Breach has a very, 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 very good kit. This kit's very good. Good flashes. He has concussion. C's pretty good. Flashes out people out of corners. Helps you out quite a bit. But he has a lot of coordination involved. Especially if you're pushing, especially on attack. You need to tell your teammates constantly, hey, I'm going to flash this. Hey, I'm going to concuss this. Please get out of the way. Hey, I'm going to do Rolling Thunder. Get on the site. You have to constantly tell your team what you're going to do before you do it. Unless you're playing by yourself, which honestly isn't the best for Breach. Breach is more of a team player to help people initiate the fight. And it's quite annoying. You have to constantly remind your team what you're doing. And it's tough for him. Even though he has a very good kit, and he is quite a good character, even in pro level play, it is hard to get coordinated with him. There isn't that many Breach players. I know AZK plays Breach on T1 quite a bit. I think it's his main, actually. But I haven't seen that many Breaches in terms of pro level. But this is a low level, mid level elo, so we're going to keep it at that. It's very tough to coordinate with your team. When your team is scrambling around, doing nothing, you got a bunch of Fortnite kids on your team. It's not hard. It's very difficult. Last but not least, Viper. Viper, man, I hate playing with Viper personally, and this might have some bias, but I think Viper is just so difficult to play with. I can go to a very, very long ramble on why Viper is very bad, especially for low level, mid level elo. But I'm gonna keep it simple. She has her toolset designed in a way that really, really complements people who have good positioning, good coordination, but you need to have a really good coordination. Really, really good coordination to play with her. Because even though she has good one ways and stuff like that on defense, playing with attack, playing with her ult is extremely difficult. And a lot of times, it could also just get you killed. She's probably the only character in the game. Well, not only character, excuse me. She's the character that can get you killed the most. Just on your team alone. Breach and Phoenix are probably the two because of their flashes. The Viper wall, people just like running through the wall, people running through the ults and killing Viper, and then you're out in the open exposed. Uh, them just running through the smokes because smokes take a long time to set up, or they run out and they just push you as soon as it runs out. It's very tough playing with her. She's quite difficult, and even in pro level play, she's not very played that much. So I think overall she's probably the weakest character. I don't think many people would disagree with that. But yeah, that's it for me. That is my tier list. Hopefully you enjoy. If you agree, if you disagree, please comment. Like the video. Subscribe if you're here for Valorant content. I'll be trying to make more Valorant content. Also comment to let me know what you guys want to see from me. As someone who bounces around, plays with people of all kinds of elos. Since the majority of people, right, are not diamond, like plat, diamond, immortal, radiant rank, right? So hopefully there's a nice little market for people that want to talk about mid-level elo and low-level elo. So yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'll see you guys later.